Real estate expert Chae duPont from the law firm of Morris duPont is back now, tackling your questions about real estate issues and problems that you may be having. Welcome back, Chae.
Thank you, Jerry.
There are always great questions from our viewers.
Yeah, good viewers.
And we've got a really good one from, thank you, we think so. We've got a really good one from Tony from Newport Richey, and he asks, my foreclosure case has dismissed. It's been over 5 years since I made a mortgage payment. My neighbor told me that the lender can't file another foreclosure against me. Is that true?
That's a very good question. So he had a foreclosure case against him, and it's been dismissed,
right? And
it's been over 5 years. And
over 5 years.
And the reason he's saying it's over 5 years is because what he's referring to is what's called the Statute of Limitations, which means there is a time limit on when you can file a lawsuit against someone after you are aware that the cause of action has occurred. So in his case, he's saying, the default happened 5 years ago, and it's been 5 years. So is the lender barred from filing another foreclosure action against me because of this 5 years?
Right.
Unfortunately, Tony, the answer is no.
Oh.
No. And you know why? Because
bad news for Tony.
Yeah, unfortunately. Bad news for a lot of homeowners in Florida who were thinking, 5 years, when is it up? Because after that, the lender can't file the foreclosure action. But courts in Florida are pretty well decided on this theory, that every month is a new cause of action because every month you're breaching that month's contract to make a mortgage payment. So every month you've got a new breach, therefore the statute of limitations really never expires because last month you breached, so that starts a new clock for a new 5-year statute of limitations. So even though he didn't make a mortgage payment for the last 5 years, the lender could actually file a foreclosure action against him for defaulting on his January of 2014 payment. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, so it gets really complicated. So what's a guy like Tony or anybody else in this situation to do?
Well, if he wants to stay in the home, then even after 5 years of not making a mortgage payment, he can still apply for a loan modification. So, of course, I always think best consult with a professional, come in, I do free consultations. I'm happy to meet with him and see whether or not I believe he could qualify for a loan modification and whether it could result in a principal reduction, because after making a mortgage payment for 5 years, his principal balance is probably much higher than the value of the property. So the only reason to stay in the property probably is if we can get him a principal reduction, loan modification, an affordable payment, and he can have a performing loan again. If he's not interested, see how long we can keep him in there. There's no foreclosure action right now, and possibly then a short sale at the end of a new foreclosure action if the lender ever does file.
There are a lot of people out there, and in the Tampa Bay area, statistically, the numbers are very high of people having huge problems paying their mortgage, foreclosing, short sale.
1 in 5.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 in the Tampa Bay area.
That is staggering.
Yes.
Is it getting any better, Chae?
It's getting better for 2 reasons. Number one, the economy is getting better and people are getting employed, or they are getting employed in the same kind of jobs with the same kind of salary that they had back before 2008. After that, they were, underemployed. So we're seeing better employment figures, better salaries, and we're also seeing appreciation in homes.
Fantastic. All right, Chae duPont, great stuff. Always a pleasure to see you. If you want to learn more about any of the things we're talking about here, you can visit Chae's website, homemortgagelaw.com.